Ooh, it's noisy.
Vamos live.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SPACEAPPS 2020 UK. So I am Alex from Bristol.
Hello, I'm Georgia from Cambridge.
Hi, I'm Sylvia, also from Cambridge.
Hello, I'm Christine's sister because she was sick. Sorry about that. Sorry, I have to take over from Cambridge.
Hello, everyone. I'm Awais. I'm from Glasgow.
And I'm Jen Ashley from London.
Victor Montero from Newport.
Hi, I'm Hazel from Southampton.
So what is SPACEAPPS? It's a 31-hour hackathon. It's an annual thing. So we do this every year. And it's a global collaborative initiative. There are a lot of countries and cities, holding SPACEAPPS challenges across the world. And it's a chance to take on some NASA challenges. And it's multidisciplinary. So what do you actually do during, I was asked this earlier by someone else who was interested in joining, and he thought that it's just, really building apps, and it's not just about that. It's really, things to do with open source or hardware or data visualization, and citizen science platforms. So there are a lot of solutions you can build, not just necessarily an app. And you can use videos, art, and that's why we actually welcome designers as well, and other communication solutions. So anything aimed at addressing global challenges is definitely welcome.
We've got a schedule outlined here. I won't go through all the particulars, but we'll have the recording saved, and you can find the schedule on Discord and other sources. After this talk finishes, we're going to be having an interesting talk on bioinspiration in science, and we're also then going to have a UKSA business opportunities talk, and then we'll dive right into team formation and generating ideas and all those sorts of things. So during this event, it's important to keep hydrated. It can be quite easy to get carried away with the time pressure, but you'll find that if you take care of yourself, you'll be able to make it through all the days and end up with a stronger product in the end. Take breaks, stretch, be respectful to others. You'll find that there's some server rules in Discord. Just basically be polite. And remember that there are minors involved in this event, so try to keep the dialogue family friendly. If you need help, you can reach out to us on Discord. We're all labeled as team leads. There will also be some mentors in there that are willing and happy to help.
Thank you, Alex. And thank you, everyone, for signing up for this hackathon. And now you have signed up for this hackathon. Now you're thinking about the challenges you can solve for NASA. There are 7 challenge teams, and only 6 of them qualify for the global prizes. And the one that does not qualify for global prize winners is your idea, where it's an open challenge team where you can take any space technologies and solve any challenge you might have that's not already on the list. The one that do qualify are observe, inform, sustain, create, confront, and connect. The observe challenge team is related to all the Earth observation data sets that NASA collects. And the challenge here is NASA would like you to develop a tool that can communicate the data sets to the wider public. For example, air pollution. And the next one is inform. For this one is to look at for those creative people on the space data sets in a new way, where you can use the current data sets and the historical data sets to inform public decision makers and wider people. The next one is on sustain. So sustain is making sure that the challenge requires you to make sure that human life can be sustained in the future as well. And there's some really exciting challenges in this theme as well. The one I find quite interesting is orbital space debris game. So NASA would like you to develop a game that can showcase to the people about the orbit debris and the challenges associated with it. For the creative participants, there is a challenge team for it, which is looking at designing new artwork to inspire the next generation of space enthusiasts. Designing tools for astronauts to use on Mars. So if you're a 3D designer, 3D modeler, CAD designer, that's the challenge for yourself. For the confront challenge team, the NASA would like you to utilize the space data sets to solve really big human crises at the moment. So the human-generated crisis, for example, social economic inequality, disasters, fire and flooding, and could we use the space data sets to solve one of those challenges? And finally, connect. Connect is regarding that challenge is about bringing people together and solving. So like everyone is here to solve challenges this weekend. How can you connect and communicate the challenges we have and try to solve them on scale? For example, that could be communicating with astronauts on Mars in a different way, showcasing about a population on different areas of the world, and then communicating that to the wider public. Yeah.
So with regards to how we're going to be judging things in the UK, there are going to be separate judging for local prizes and for UK prizes. On Sunday afternoon, everyone is going to be invited to present their idea to the UK judging panel. And each of the local leads will nominate one team from those in their area to go forward to UK judging. And then between us, we will be selecting one overall UK winner. But also separately from that, and potentially on a different timescale, there will be local winners. Within local winners, there are going to be 2 teams that get forwarded to the global competition. And then there's also a prize for the best local team, where each person in the team will be getting some small resin printed awards. And finally, for the overall UK winner, there'll be a fancy machined trophy, but that will be shared between the one trophy for the whole team. In terms of the judging criteria, there are 5 main branches which we're going to be judging all of the space apps in. The first of these is impact. So we're looking at how much of a difference your idea is going to make, if it's going to be solving a huge problem on a global scale or something more local, and also how many people it will be helping. Next up is creativity. So is it something completely new? Has anyone thought of it before or tried tackling this problem a different way? Or is it something that's building upon what's already been done? Validity refers to, is the solution actually going to work? And how is it going to be scientific, and how is it going to actually operate in the real world? It's brilliant if you have a creative idea, but we need to make sure that it's going to actually work. Relevance refers to if your idea is in the right category and how close it is to actually solving the problem you're saying it might. Is it all technically feasible, and how ready is it to be deployed? Is it user-friendly as it is, or does it require specialist knowledge to use? And finally, presentation is going to be how well you communicate your project to us, and also with your submission to the online part of the SPACEAPPS challenge.
So for team formation, we're going to be doing this on Discord primarily, and we'd really encourage you to try to bring together a multidisciplinary team. We find that when you've got a lot of different perspectives, you can end up with a much better result. It's also really important that you tonight set up how you're communicating with your team, whether that's on our Discord, your own Discords, or other means, or making sure that you also have like Google Drive or Dropbox or something where you can share all your folders and files. You'll find that on the last day, sometimes somebody might have an internet outage or computer failure or something, and that can really be a bit of a downer if you can't end up actually finishing the project. It's also important to make sure that on Sunday, you'll submit everything onto the SPACEAPPS website, and that'll make it valid for global judging. So for the team formation process, some of you already have teams, but for those that don't, on the UK Discord, you'll find there's a themes channel, or a bunch of themes channels that have all the different themes and all the challenges in them. You can discuss in there with other people, try to find like-minded individuals. And then once you've got a team together, if you go into the team request channel, you'll be able to request us to set you up with voice channels or text channels so that your team can coordinate independent of the busier channels. One of you will also need to create a team on the SPACEAPPS website and invite the others to it. When you do that, you'll get access to a bunch of tools that SPACEAPPS is providing. Sometimes they give you a bit of a idea of here are some resources you might want to use to approach the challenge. Here are some ideas other people have tried. There's also various offers to take advantage of and Rocket Chat and such. It's good to use collaborative tools. This can really help if everything's just web-based, then a computer failure doesn't kill it for everyone. Or using Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, or your choice of online storage medium for those files that aren't collaborative. Collaborative files are also helpful so that multiple teammates can work at the same time. Otherwise, you can have versioning issues. Make sure that everybody has access to whatever you're planning to use by the end of today, ideally, and then that'll give you a good head start for tomorrow. SPACEAPPS also has a team formation guide, and this can also be found on our Discord or on their resources page. And there'll be links at the end of this talk that you can access.
In terms of the offers, so NASA has put available a website that you can find a link in this slide, so that when you log in into the NASA SPACEAPPS Challenge platform, participant platform, you can see all the offers. So actually, it's quite powerful offer where you can have from cloud compute, domain names, database, and other collaborative tools. So they have prominent names like Google, Amazon, services, and IBM. So we encourage you to look at it, what has been offered, so it can inspire your ideas as well and make use of that. As well, we locally has the offer from Open Cosmos, a UK space company who is putting in place an online software platform, SPACEAPPS, where you can run space mission simulation and analysis all in the cloud, so you don't need to install anything. And well, in the Discord channel as well, you will have all the details and login details on how to use it. As well, on the Rocket Chat that NASA has put in place, you have the option or ask a global collaborator, where you can have global collaborators to support you during the challenge. But as well, we have got support locally from different companies and agencies that has put a mentor available for all of you. That actually tomorrow in the morning, as we briefly saw in the agenda, we will have a quick presentation of these mentors that will be available during the weekend. So they are usually in Discord as well, and you will be able to make questions, arrange meetings. So they are willing to support and help you along the weekend on anything that can raise. And well, as we have to say as well, thank you, because well, we all of us here, we are doing this for our own voluntary basis. So we are passionate in the space sector, and we do it in our spare time, but also we get the support of big companies and big agencies, universities, as you see there, who is supporting us in many ways. So you will see we have few speakers that will inspire and as well show you the future steps that you can take in the UK space sector from this project onwards, and as well well, other collaborators that they just put their resources in place just to inspire and encourage new ideas into the sector.
The SPACEAPPS main branch has also put out a global opening ceremony, which we'd encourage you to watch after our stream, of course. This has some other sort of helpful things and some interesting content in it. And here's a list of useful links. The reason these are all hyperlinks is that the presentation will be attached to the stream when it gets uploaded, so don't worry about trying to access those. And yeah, thank you.
Shall we, are we gonna take questions now or after the other talks? Shall we do that after the talks, or I can? I mean, are there any questions from the audience? You can just type it into YouTube Live, and we can yeah, we can take those questions. Okay, I'm not seeing any at the moment. Shall we just go ahead with the talks then? We have some people from Cambridge that are going to be doing some presentation. Sylvia or Georgia, who's going to be presenting the slide?
You are muted, Christine.
Can you hear?
You are muted.
Yes, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. Sorry about that. Just I'm Christine, she's and I have to take over. But we have a lot of experience in NASA. Also, please, Jane, if you mind to add the Cambridge logo as well. I think Sylvia's department is part of the UK space community. Can I? So can I use share screen? Can you see it? Can you see now?
No.
Hang on a second. No, we're not seeing it.
No, you're not sharing. I can try
What about now?
Mr.
Can you
Mohan.
see now? Yes. Yes? Can you see?
Can't see
So
it.
just, can you see now? I sent the screen. Georgia, Sylvia, can you see the screen?
I'm not seeing it on the screen actually. So, is there anyone else who can share it?
Can you see?
I've got the.
I will
Do you want me to share it?
Okay. Sorry about the noise. Just the plan is we want to inspire people to use nature-based solutions and biological and space technologies. Can you see now? Yeah. So Christine is a local leader and Sylvia is a community leader in Cambridge, especially in the Department of Chemistry, in photonics and bioinspiration. Georgia is marketing project manager of the SPACEAPPS. I'm helping them as a global leader, and also we have as a judge George Metalinofis, an investor, and Raza Natos, an professor as well in Relevance. So thank you very much. Next slide. So what is biomimicry? It's biomimicry. It's the science that's trying to mimic nature model systems, and it comes from the Greek word bios, that means life, and mimesis, how we mimic life. So we take these models, we mimic nature, and we transfer these models to technology and to real problems, to solve real complex human problems. Next slide. So about 2016, NASA created a department about biomimicry, the virtual interchange for nature-inspired exploration, and also European Space Agency has created and make a lot of research about that. So they try to find solutions from nature and transfer these technologies in space. So our plan, Sylvia, Georgia, me, Christine, and all the Cambridge team, is trying to raise awareness to more people to get inspired from nature for space technology. Yes? So you can do that. Next slide. So here you can see from the reference, ESA she makes a project as well about solutions in space, and she gets inspirations from small animals. And also Sylvia will talk about her projects as well about bio-inspiration. Next slide, please. So nature has genius more than 4.8 billions of years. So if we use the nature wisdom, we can find solutions better. Next slide. There is normally in some other cities in NASA SpaceApps, they use the Ask Nature site that you can take bio-inspired solution as a reference if you want to create a new technology, or if you have a new idea. You can take there are some solutions that they take some models from nature. So you can take it like a reference and create new technologies. So it's a very nice site that you can use it in order to find creativity during NASA space. Next slide, please. Here are some examples how human mimic nature in architecture and biology. The next one. And the fastest train in the world. It was mechanic engineering in Japan. So the problem was that there was a lot of noise when the train was traveling about 300 kilometers per hour. So they couldn't find a solution how to reduce the huge voice of the train and the speed of light, the speed of noise. So they find solution. They mimic this small bird in order to reduce the air and the sound when the train is traveling with 300 kilometers per hour. So we can see that they mimic nature to make this new machine. Next one. You can see a lot of fractals and second geometry. So everything that we do in real life is just mimic of nature. Next one. So just it's an inspiration for the participants how they can create new ideas. The Venus project is a big project that they are trying to make sustainable cities with to use less energy for the cities and to be friendly, environmental friendly, and with biophilic and biomimetic design. Next one. You can see how robotics and the new technologies get bio-inspiration from from the shapes of animals. Next one, the same one. You can see how humans mimic nature in order to transfer nature in new technologies. Next one, Sylvia, do you want to say something about that?
Yeah, essentially you can also use it into the context of different type of materials. So you don't think only in the design. So I think the example that you have seen so far, you have design of city, design of robotic arms that mimic humans or animals one. But then also you can also make a step forward and also trying to use biomimicry in terms of making material and material properties that are similar to the one that you can observe in nature. And this is just an example of a beetle with the white scales that are produced by natural material, and you can make coating with the same exact properties. And I don't know if you want me to continue because the audio was just
Yes, please, Sylvia, if you want. Yes.
So I think that these are just examples to inspire you on the idea of what biomimicry and bio inspiration is. So the idea is that you have already lots of solution around you in this world, that you can actually implement them in space, and then for better engineering of design, but also material. And if you go next slide, if you want to have a little bit more example and then look at other system, you can go into these two websites. Maybe we can try to distribute them somehow through links of the European Space Agency, some example of biomimicry that are already applied now in space system. And the idea is also of biomimicry is also like using as minimum amount of material as possible, because obviously nature is kind of optimized in order to use the less resources to get the function. So if you think in this context, it would be nice also when you think about your proposed solution to think about way to use the less material as possible, so save resources, so you minimize resources. And then when you use resources, think about how you can obtain these resources using circular economy model. So exploiting circular economy system to obtain the material, use the material as well as possible, and then find a way to actually then the end of life of this material, so recycle this material somehow and then use it again. So these are things that we would like to encourage you to think about, because are within the concept of how biomimicry is nature as an ecosystem. Actually, you have the complete cycle of the materials. So if you go next slide. So if you have any problem, just contact us in this email address. I think Christine is the best person that can answer lots of your questions. If you have questions, if you would like to have a little bit more ideas on the technology that on bioinspiration, and if you want to have a chat about that, just feel free to drop me an email and then get in contact. And also Georgia would be helping you, and in market as a project manager can assist you with any of your needs. And thank you.
Thank you all.
All right. Now, up next, I believe we have the UK Space Agency presentation.
So we don't have the speaker yet because it's still a little bit early for her slot. Maybe we can. I don't know if there are some questions from the audience. And again, we apologize for the background noise earlier. But yeah, hopefully when you view this broadcast again, you'll probably hear better. Hopefully, I don't know. So yeah, we can take some questions if anyone has questions right now while we're waiting for the person from the UK Space Agency to arrive, or if anyone from the team has got any. I'm gonna bring back everyone. Has got anything to add, or maybe some
Yeah, well,
pointers.
maybe just answering, because I only see some comments are popping up. So Trevor is looking for teammates, right? So the point that as well to mention that and as well why we are all here. So typically the NASA SpaceAPPS Challenge is a local event, so that is hosted in many different cities, as it is a physical event, no? But this year, due to the situation that we all know are used to this online event, and we are trying to take the most benefit out of it. and this was the opportunity that all the local leads that are here, so we took, so to make it a wider UK event instead of a local city one. So all participants from all the location will be together in the same Discord, even if there is local Discord later to discuss, but they can find even cross city teams, no? So we can say, so if you have, so even if you are signing from the location of London, if you don't find colleagues or a group of people, a team in the London area, so you can look for somewhere else. So it will not be a problem. So you just need to choose at the end the right people, and this opportunity is opening a bit more the doors for that.
Any other pointers, like when we're doing the like when they're doing pitching or anything for Sunday? Anyone have any?
Yes, I'd just like to add, for submission, it's 11:59 p.m. on your local time. So if you're collaborating with anyone from international, and it will depend on the team lead for that area. So whoever submitting your project, they need to submit by 11:59 p.m. at the local time. So just make sure, if you're collaborating with people across different countries, so this is a great opportunity to actually work with people from across the world. There's over 90 countries taking part in this hackathon, so you're part of this global community. So if you're submitting in an international context, just be aware of the local timing.
Great. So we don't have the speaker from the UK Space Agency yet. I think that's going to be an interesting talk to to wait for, because she's I think sharing some information about funding as well. So yeah, I think it would be great for everyone to kind of listen to that talk. So once she joins, we'll get started. I guess we kind of finish early. Go ahead, Alex. You have something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you are having trouble finding a team, quite often it just takes the first couple people to put themselves out there. So there could be quite a few people in the Discord right now looking for a team, but nobody wants to be the first one to write. So if you go into the challenge themes and just say, oh, I'm interested in doing this thing, you might find 5 other people jump out and say, oh, I'm also interested in doing that thing. So that can be just a bit of useful sort of take the first step sort of thing.
Yeah. So maybe what I can do is, if you want, I can maybe do a longer introduction of our UK Space Agency speaker. So Emily Gravestock. So while the people are joining as well, they know the big opportunities that actually UK Space Agency and the UK environment itself is bringing for these new potential ideas. No, so is now full of opportunity, and I think Emily is a great speaker for today, as she is the head of application strategy at the UK Space Agency. So as you know, the agency is responsible for all strategic decision in the UK civil space program, and for ensuring that the UK retains and grows a strategic capability in the space-based system technologies, science and application. So it leads the UK's civil space program in order to win sustainable economic growth, and secure new scientific knowledge and provide this benefit to everyone. So something that UK Space Agency, but ESA, NASA, so all the purpose or the main aim of the space programs is to bring actually the space technology into the citizens, or into the daily activities. So as you probably, a lot of you knows of and discoveries that has been used later in our daily use. So actually, Emily's area of responsibility touch almost all aspects of the space. So it's great that you will have different opportunities to work in different technologies during the challenges. So Earth observation, telecommunication, navigation, and technology transfer. So she works with the space for this smarter government program, it's called, which has been set up just to help the public sector as we are to deliver more efficient and use more efficient the data that we have in place to enable this space technology. She as well is representing the UK at the ESA, the European Space Agency. So you will see that, you probably know, the UK Space Agency and ESA are working really close. But also a part of leading this UK business application. So she is also the vice president of URISAI, and also she sits on the satellite application catapult advisory group. So that you probably seen is a group that raise a lot of funding and support to the global projects. And well, a bit more of Emily. She spent more than 10 years working in the civil service across a number of central government departments. She holds a degree in geographically with theology from the University of Birmingham. And well, she lives in Cotswold with his husband and twins boys. So it is a good overview of how much Emily can help us. So to be honest, we wanted to bring such a speaker as I think that will be the most beneficial to have this contact for the future next step. I'm pretty sure that some of the ideas will have future follow-up of the technologies and grows into a profitable company.
Okay. So we actually have Emily joining us now. So I'm going to bring her in to the stream. And thanks for that introduction, Victor.
Hi, Victor. Thank you for that lovely introduction.
Hi, Emily. So right. So thanks a lot for joining us. So you see, we are really pleased that you give us to all the audience and to us the opportunity to know a bit more and firsthand, and as well to have your contact. So you make the mistake to put your name with your name, so the people will be able to contact after that. I think it's quite powerful for following up of future opportunities.
Hopefully, so, I hope so.
Thanks a lot.
Hi, so thank you, Victor, for that introduction. My name's Emily Gravestock. I'm from the UK Space Agency. I head up applications here at the UK Space Agency, which means I look after everything that comes down from satellites. I also look after tech transfer and commercial microgravity for the UK Space Agency. The UK Space Agency is a government department, and I've been a civil servant for about 13, 14 years now, working across different departments. And I have to say, I've stuck with the UK Space Agency for the last 5 years because it's such a varied and fabulous place to work. And I have found the space sector in the UK to be, firstly, really fascinating and interesting and growing, but also a really welcoming place to work. And I'm delighted to be still part of it. I mean, the space sector, I said it's growing. It's employing about 42,000 people in the UK now, and that's growing year on year, despite COVID, despite Brexit and everything that's going. It's growing at a rate faster than most other sectors in the UK. And it's not just scientists that it's employing business consultants, it's employing communicators, it's employing people who are doing logistics and infrastructure management and things like that. And the UK Space Agency has also grown over the last 5 years that I've been part of it. I think I was about 85th into the organisation when I joined, and we're now well over 200, getting towards 250 people and still growing. And we've not just grown as an organisation in size, but also in scope and ambition. So last November, we put our biggest contribution ever into the European Space Agency. And we will continue to do that as one of the major contributors to ESA, as far as I can tell. So as part of my role, I am responsible for both some national activities and some international activities. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. I'm responsible on a national front for working with public sector organisations. That includes local authorities, central government, it includes the NHS, it includes railways and people like that, for looking at how they can use space and satellite data and information in their day-to-day lives to make things more efficient and more effective. I have, for the last 4 years, run a competition for 11 to 22-year-olds called Satellite, where people can come up with their ideas of how they can use satellites to make life better here on Earth. And that's produced some extraordinary results with some really inspiring young people getting involved. And some of them are now coming through and developing businesses of their own and coming on to receive some of our European Space Agency funding that I look after as part of my international portfolio. The UK Space Agency is the biggest contributor to the applications part of the European Space Agency. That's part of a programme called ARTES, which is huge, but the business applications part is a portion of that that also has in it business incubation and ambassador networks out there all around the country to support people who want to get into the space sector. The majority of the companies that we support through business applications are small and micro-sized businesses. An awful lot are sub 20 people when they start with us, and some of them then go on to grow and grow to become medium-sized enterprises as well. We do support large business as well through that program, but the vast majority of the companies that I work with, or the individuals I work with, are very, very small groups of people who just have a cracking idea and they need a bit of investment to get it sorted. And I'll talk about that in a moment as well. But the biggest part of my role really is talking to people who don't know much about space, who don't realise that they are using dozens of satellites every single day. Everyone from my grandfather, who's 92, who lives in Dartmouth on the south coast of Devon, and he's using satellites every day because he watches out of his window all the boats coming in and out of Dartmouth Harbour, and he monitors them using satellite AIS. My dad uses satellites every day because he travels around the country for his job, and he prides himself in avoiding traffic jams. And my 6-year-old twins, they like playing Pokemon Go. So you'll find them wandering around Wiltshire with me on my phone, looking for these Pokemon, which is entirely dependent on satellite services. But really my role is about building the UK economy, the UK space sector. And it's not always with the people that you think it's going to be. Yes, I do agriculture, and at the moment we've got an awful lot of projects that are looking at how we can manage potatoes better, which is fine because I like chips. But yes, we do climate projects, particularly with COP26 coming up. Yes, we do sat-navs. Yes, we do weather forecasting. But also I'm working with a company who are looking to diagnose bowel cancer better using AI. They're taking some AI algorithms that have been developed for space. They're using those as people do colonoscopies, and the AI is helping them find the polyps, which are the really early stages of bowel cancer, and identify them to the doctor on duty that day in real time. When the doctor who's not on that day, who is not on duty, is not in the hospital, they can be sent using secure satellite communications, which are absolutely uninterrupted, to another site so they can be analysed in real time as well by the doctor alongside the AI. If the polyp is looking like it is cancerous, they will remove it immediately. So that patient can then leave that suite in that hospital on that day knowing that they are cancer-free. And that's a huge weight off anybody's mind. We're doing breast screening in supermarket car parks, meaning that if women turn up on the wrong day, we've got secure connections to the hospitals so that if they turn up on the wrong day, they can still be screened. Their notes aren't in a hospital in a paper format. They can use the electronic files from the hospital using that satellite connectivity. We're sending uncrewed vessels across the English Channel, which we've done already, and now they're doing trials in the Atlantic, which will allow far safer monitoring of seabeds and seas and pipelines underwater. We've got a couple of projects going on at the moment. We did a call for COVID-related applications recently, and we've got a couple of projects, one of which is kicked off already, one of which is about to kick off, using drones to deliver hospital supplies, including COVID tests from the hospitals or the care homes to the test centres, which means that you don't have to wait for a courier that's only going once a day. You can have a drone that's going multiple times a day in cleared airspaces to do that. We've got apps that are reviewing planning permission, apps that are looking at electric vehicles and anticipating how the owners are going to use them. And based on those journey plans and journey times, that because most of us are creatures of habit, telling you actually you can discharge some of the electricity from your car right now back to the national grid and recharge your car when it is cheaper to recharge it at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. But you've still got enough electricity in your electric vehicle to get where you need to get to, plus a cushion to make sure that you'll get there safely. We're looking at ubiquitous comms from 5G, making sure that there is that sustainability between the terrestrial network and the satellite network that can offer those 5G elements. Particularly interesting for areas that are very difficult to communicate with and contact with. Lots of interest from railway companies in that, and we're doing something particularly on logistics and logistics of goods and of people, but predominantly of goods to start with. And I mentioned commercial microgravity at the start, really investigating how the UK can be one of the leading nations to really send things up to the International Space Station and to look at what you could do if you could take gravity out of the equation. And that might be the development of new pharmaceuticals. It might be the changing of a texture of a material and how that looks when you take gravity out of it. It might be something completely novel. You send up diamond rings, suddenly you're proposing to your soon-to-be fiancé with a ring that's been to space. There's only a dozen of those in the world, or there aren't any yet. But, you know, if you did this, there'd only be a dozen in the whole world, and wouldn't that be a special thing to do? So it might just be a really novel use of space that we could do. And there's just so many other things that we support in all the different things, but there's so many ideas that people haven't thought of yet. And that is why I personally and the UK Space Agency is so pleased to support this hackathon today, because it represents so well the innovation that is abundant in the UK in this sector at the moment. And I think really looking fruitful in the years to come. And I think for me, it also shows that no matter where you are in this country, where or around the world, whatever gender, race, religion you are, all are equal when presented with this data. It's the knowledge and it's the ideas that shine through. And that's really exciting for me. So if you've got an idea that comes out of this hackathon, whether it wins or whether it doesn't win, do get in touch. And I think there's a banner that will appear at some point with my email address on it if you haven't been given it already. Because the work that I talked about earlier with the European Space Agency, we have a permanently open call for ideas. We have a permanently open call for feasibility studies that will fund at a proportion. We don't fund, well, very rarely fund at 100%. Usually it's 50-50 contribution from us, but some of the contributions from industry or academia or from groups of people can be in-kind contributions. It doesn't all have to be cash. We're all for demonstrator projects. They range in price from €60,000, and we work in euro because it's the European Space Agency, €60,000 to a few million euro. So there's that real scope and breadth of complexity there that we can talk about. I've got a team of people all around the UK, I mentioned them earlier, the ambassadors, who are there to support people getting into this funding programme. And if you think, actually, I'm not ready to start something from a blank sheet of paper myself yet, then the European Space Agency has a bunch of different opportunities there that we support as the UK, I support as the UK delegation, we support as the UK Space Agency, ranging from kickstart ideas, and there are some fabulous ones coming up in the early 2021, things around things like the circular economy and how you can look at recycling and things like that that are really quite exciting and novel and really of the moment in terms of the ideas of what they can do. Or invitations to tender where a problem has been identified by ESA that's not yet commercially viable, for example, and they really will support the development of those ideas to try and open up those new sectors, to try and open up those new markets, to enable small companies in particular to grow and to work with you to bring ideas to market. So if you do have a good idea coming out of this hackathon, I've got some money. I can't just write a check. There is a funding panel and there's some paperwork to do. But you know what? There are funds there and there are ideas there and there are people to support you there. So if you have an idea after all of this, please do get in touch. And I wish you the best of luck this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Emily. I'm going to bring back everyone again.
Please do.
And I'm actually, we displayed Emily's contact details at the bottom of the screen. So anyone who's interested in getting in touch with her, just use that email address. And welcome back, everyone. Hang on a second. Making sure everyone's back on the stream. Okay, great. So what's next then, folks? Shall we take questions? If there are questions for Emily.
Yes, so I think that we have the opportunity now as we speed up a bit more. So we have the opportunity for questions, and actually that was the last point just before. The people now have the opportunity to find their own teams and start preparing, choosing the channels for communication, etc. so that they can start working on their ideas. So yeah, and thanks a lot, Emily, for the nice presentation.
You're welcome.
Okay, yeah. If there are questions for Emily, just type it in to YouTube Live, and we'll bring it in. Let me see. I'm just looking at what's coming in. Don't have anything specifically for Emily right now, but there's a question about. There was a question about some tabs earlier. So let's see if someone can actually answer this question. So someone's asking about the team tab, I believe. Anyone from the team who can answer this question?
I already answered this in the comments section, but if you go to the NASA website, there is a project submission guide under the resources section, and that explains what all of those tabs do. But to summarize it quickly, basically the team board is a small blog that you can post to throughout the competition. You can share things with your team and also just with the general public about how things are going. But none of that is marked. Whereas the projects tab, that's the page that the judges are going to be using and marking if you decide to submit your project for judging at the end of the competition.
Thank you, Hazel. Trying to see if there are any new questions. It doesn't look like we've got any more questions. So I guess thank you, Emily, for that great talk. And hopefully, some of the participants, will get in touch and find out more about the programs from the UK Space Agency. So, folks, any other things that we need to cover?
I think that's everything. Make sure to join the Discord, get support with your ideas, and a lot of the mentors will be available tomorrow morning. So definitely make sure to be on the Discord before then so that you can get the most out of them.
So actually, tomorrow morning we will have at 10 use a kind of kickoff of the day. So start of the day. So we will have the opportunity to know some of the mentors that we have, so that you have a small overview of how they can help you, and then you can contact them on Discord bar. But yeah, basically tomorrow will be the kickoff of the hackathon. So we have also planned some others success stories on the space sector, and so to see some example of what you can reach as well in the future, and you will have most of the day to work on your ideas.
So tonight is really about team formation. And yeah, I mean, as Alex has said, there's the Discord channel. We'll share this recording as well to people who didn't make it, tonight, so they know what we covered. And yeah, I guess it's really a matter of making sure that you get in touch with mentors and any of us through the Discord channel, which again will share to all the participants through each lead that you're seeing here. Anything else from anyone? Okay, so I guess we'll wrap up. And good luck, everyone, on the hackathon this weekend.
Good luck, everyone. Thank you.
Good luck and thank you.
Take care.
Good luck, everyone.
Bye.